Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Wednesday, March 6, 2024. Let's find out what is going on the economic calendar today. Overnight data were mostly in form of the GDP and retail sales data from the Australia. As you can see, all of them beats the expectations, so bunch of the good data from the Australia has been posted. German trade balance is widening to 27 billion euro, which is way more than the forecast of 21 billion of the euro. And the next very important data release is the spring forecast statement from the UK. Before we will get this statement, we will receive the data from the construction PMI at 10:30 and the retail sales data from the euro zone. During the New York session, we got the ADP non-farm employment change scheduled for release at 2:15, and then we got labor productivity and the Bank of Canada interest rate decision. The interest rate decision and the interest rate statement from the Bank of Canada is scheduled for release at 3:45. At 4 o'clock, we got the JOLT job openings and IVPMI data from the Canada. And at 4 o'clock, we got as well the Fed Chair Powell testimony in the Senate. Bank of Canada press conference is expected at 4:30. And at the same time, we got the release of the crude oil inventories and the Cushing crude oil inventories from the USA. FOMC member Daly will give a speech at 6 o'clock. And at the 7 o'clock, we got the publication of the Atlanta Fed GDP. Now, 1 hour later, we got the beige book, and 1 hour and 50 minutes later, we got the FOMC member Kashkari to give a speech. So, key events of today: crude oil inventories, testimony of the Jerome Powell, and the JOLT job openings data from the US, ADP and unemployment change data, labor data from the US, and the Bank of Canada interest rate decision. So because of the lack of the very important data during the session of the Asian session, and London session doesn't actually looks very appealing. Expect the data from the UK. Let's start with the British pound, and then we will do the Canadian dollar. Okay, the most traded market these days is of course the Bitcoin market. So the analysis will start with the Bitcoin. So what's going on the 4-hour chart of the Bitcoin? As you can see, we have hit the previous high, which is the lower black thick line here, 68,843. We got this bearish engulfing pattern, so we went a little bit lower, and then in the second part of the day we got the movement to the upside and the new all-time high on a Bitcoin. This all-time high on the Bitcoin was set at 69,317, which is not that far away. As you can see, it's the upper black line. But then the market, of course, realized the profits. The traders realized the profits. They closed the long trades. Most likely, they used this opportunity to distribute or partially distribute into the market. So we got this very aggressive and very dynamic movement to the downside, and the price range of this movement from the all-time high to the recent low is minus 10.5%. So minus 10.5%, this is the movement to the downside. The low was made at $62,007, but then we got another movement to the upside, and we are back above $67,000, approaching the all-time high and the swing high from yesterday. So the next target for bulls mark might be apparently moved higher. Where is the next target for bulls? Well, most likely this will be the level of the 70,000. So the $70,000 would be the next target for bulls. I just want to grab my black line and move it. Yes, thank you very much. I will move it to the $70,000. There you go, something like this. Let's say this is the 70,000. Here you are. There you go. $70,000 is the next target for the bulls. So the black labels stays here. Okay, $70,000, and we can of course switch this one for the technical resistance and the all-time high, so everything stays under the control. Now 70,000, 80,000, 90,000 and $100,000 are the next psychological round numbers for the Bitcoin bulls. They must be used as the projected target for the next bull run on Bitcoin, because of course there is no other technical levels whatsoever. Only the projections, for example the Fibonacci projections, might be quite useful. Okay, so we got data from the Australian dollar and we got data from the British pound coming. So let's take a look at the Australian dollar first to see what is going on there after the Bitcoin market is done. So we will see what is going on the Australian dollar, and then we can switch to the Canadian dollar. So Australian dollar, what is going on here? We are testing the technical resistance, and we are testing the 100 periods moving average. 100 periods moving average is 6,529 pips. As you can see, we moved above this level after the new local high was made at 6,480. Local low, sorry, was made at 6,480. We bounced again, tested the trend line, and now we are testing the trend line from the below. We should extend this movement towards the level of 6,444 soon. Now, US dollar to the Canadian dollar before the Bank of Canada interest rate decision. As we could expect it, and as it was widely anticipated, there is almost no movement on the US dollar to the Canadian dollar pair right now, because everyone is waiting for the data to be released. We can clearly see, let me just zoom out, we can clearly see that this supply zone is a tough nut to crack for the bulls, because they cannot break above it, and they've been trying and trying and trying to move higher. Nevertheless, it doesn't actually look like the market wants to break it before the Bank of Canada interest rate decision is announced. So please keep an eye on this zone. Keep an eye on this zone, because it's very important zone, and only a sustained breakout above this zone might change the immediate outlook to more bullish. The zone is located between the levels of 1.3585, 1.3617. So that was the outlook for the US dollar to the Canadian dollar, and the outlook for the British pound ahead of the data from the UK. So finally the market is breaking above the supply zone, despite the fact that they tried and couldn't break it, which is why our scenario was to the downside. The local high was made eventually 20 pips higher. Yes, there you go, 1.2733. 25 pips higher than the upper supply zone. So as you can see right now, this market is trying to continue the up move after the test of the supply zone was made at 1.2690. Now they are resuming the up move. Of course, the next target for the bulls is located at 1.2772, which is the high from the February 2nd, 2024. Nevertheless, all of this movement is looking very corrective. It doesn't look impulsive. It might be capped and terminated very, very soon. So please stay ahead of the market movements. Stay vigilant, stay focused, because this movement here doesn't actually looks very, let's say, very true. It will not last for long. Maybe some A, B, and C correction will hit this zone here, the other supply zone here. Nevertheless, right now the odd one is of course violated, so we need to move our supply zone higher and wait for the reaction of the market participants. The supply zone is like a 50 pips higher than the current market price, so it's not that bad whatsoever. So we will be continuing watching this kind of a pattern. Let me just take it. There you go. Some sort of the A, B, and C pattern to the upside, and then potential movement to the downside should be triggered, unless this zone is of course clearly violated. So the scenario is still to the upside. The longer term, the upper time frame scenario is still to the upside. Eventually, immediate outlook is to the upside, but it's still, as I said, 3 waves only, full of the whipsaws, full of the overlapping waves inside the wave A, wave B, and potentially wave C. So it's clearly very, very, let's say, corrective in nature. This movement, ABC, is corrective in nature. So we should see downside reversal very, very soon. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye-bye.